What's up, YouTube? So, I got a quick question for you today. What is the perfect diet? Is there a perfect diet? This is a question that's come up around me a few times lately, so thought I'd do a short video. Um, we'll get into a couple of them and start off with a vegan. It's a popular diet, or at least one I'm sure you've heard of. If you do the research, yeah, I would argue it's a healthy diet. You do need to regulate what you're eating a little bit, but yeah, I would argue that if you were to adapt that lifestyle, yeah, you'd probably be healthier for it. I can also turn that around and say that I've been seeing an awful lot of people eating just meat. Jordan Peterson would be a good example. I don't know if he still is, but I know at one point he was on an all beef diet. Claimed to be getting good results from it. I can say that, again, if you do a little research, it does look like it could be a healthy diet. Probably less research out on this subject, but I guess that's why I would argue that where you live, your culture, what's available and easy for you to eat. For example, if you lived on an island, I suppose fish would be a big part of your diet rather than beef where you're on a ranch, right? So is there a perfect diet, or is it more about just regulation? Which brings me to fasting. Biblically speaking and scientifically speaking, this is good for us. Now, personally, I'm more of an intermittent faster. I've never gone days without eating, although I do know people that go up to 3 days. I'm more the eat in a 8 to 10 hour window because they say that 10 hours is what it takes for you to break down your previous meal. So then they say to go 12 hours. That way you have at least 2 hours of your body catching up, if that makes sense. I tend to go closer to 14, maybe 16, depending on the day. I don't pay that much attention. Just skip breakfast. Breaking your fast, right? So, and again, that one backed up both biblically and scientifically. Well, here's one that's might sound a little odd, but did you know that blessing your food is kind of backed up by science? I know that sounds kind of strange, but I would argue that if you're blessing your food, you're being thankful, sending positivity. And if you do your research, water being the best example I can give to start, if you were to take 2 separate water jugs, feed one positive vibes and one negative vibes, upon freezing, the positive vibes give more of a beautiful symmetric shape, and the negative just was more sporadic. I've never actually done this experiment for myself, but I've seen it. If there's any truth to it, well, wouldn't that be, in a sense, proving blessing your food? Same with plants. If you feed a plant positivity versus negativity, or different musics they say affect plants. So it's kind of the same thing. They say everything is affected by both positive and negative vibes. Again, I know that's a weird thing to bring up during a diet, but I guess that's ultimately what I'm getting at is there actually a perfect diet, or is it more just us learning not to overindulge, I guess? Then there's the same to be said about underindulging, I suppose, but finding that happy medium, I think, is probably our best bet. Now, with those things said, if you have a diet you want to talk about, me in particular, I'll be honest, back to what's available to you, I eat a lot of processed foods. I'm an American. It's right there readily available. I do grow some of my own food, and I have hunters in my family, so I get fresh meat at times, but that's where the intermittent fasting comes in, and it works for me. So if you have any info or you just want to add your 2 cents, feel free to put it in the comments. I'm open to suggestions, or if you have that perfect diet that you think is exactly that, let me know. So I suppose with that said, I'll keep this kind of brief. It's been a little while since I've posted anything. I apologize. I'm still here. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you like what you saw, and if you had any other ideas, put them in the comments. And as usual, I'll simply leave you with, I hope everybody's doing well, and hope to talk to you again soon. Take care, guys.